A 1970s house, 2,800 square feet. It's been newly flipped. You know, these flip homes are always done perfect. Actually not. The first pass, we already found all kinds of crazy things, ducts damage and water leaking through the ceiling. So I wonder what we're gonna find on the outside.
Yep, it's a Saturday inspection, which means that this house is good from far, but far from good.
Oh my God. All right, let's go check it out. After we do the first pass, the very first thing we do is we go outside and get on the roof. We always walk the roof if possible. I understand it's raining, so you're gonna have to use your professional judgment if it's safe or not. This is such a low slope. Your feet are gonna stick to the roof anyways because of the shingles texture. So you can see Josh is walking up there just fine. But if you start to slip or all, just lay flat out, prone, that's what I always say. And wonder what we're gonna find. I do notice that we have a slight dip in the roof structure here, so whenever we're inside, we'll have to take a look at that. And then another thing is we have no gutters. Not that gutters are 100% needed, but I noticed on the driveway here, there's a low spot. So the driveway is sloping in this direction and water's just chilling over here. Stuff like that can cause your house to settle more than normal. Oh, now that we're speaking of it, you can see a gap in the siding over here. So I bet we have some settling in the foundation over here, just due to because there's no gutters and all this water travels in this direction.
So even with the weather, on lower slope roofs, we have enough grip because it is a new roof to be able to walk it above the garage and the breezeway. I tried to walk the steeper portion above the main part of the house, got a couple of steps and started slipping, so I came back down. But the good news is because it is so steep, we're gonna be able to see enough of the roof covering from the ground to make an accurate opinion on if it's functioning or not. Things that I see just from this vantage point, we have a buckled plumbing boot right here. It's buckled down and collecting water. We have some exposed fasteners on that vent right there, and then a little bit of lifted flashing underneath where the wall meets the roof line. The other thing I noticed is we got some feces here. Not sure what it is. It could be rat, could be raccoon, but that's something we'll also put in the report so they can keep an eye on it. The other thing we noticed on the chimney cap behind me is it's kind of crooked. It might be broken, might need some need of mortar improvement. That's one thing that we can't get over to see right now, or hopefully it'll stop raining long enough for us to fly our drone to get a good aerial view of that.
One thing I noticed when I was walking up the ladder here is there's a little bit of a dip in the roof structure here, and we have water coming off the roof and pouring in this direction. And the driveway, it's sloped in this direction and not towards the street. So I can actually see that the driveway is higher over there than it is over here. So we know we have a large amount of water pouring in this direction. And whenever that happens, especially in these 1970s homes, if you have a lot of water going in a similar direction, it can cause your foundation to settle. And we're starting to see it in this location. You can see a gap above the garage door here, indicating that we have some settlement in this location. So whenever we get inside, we'll check that out a little bit more. We're experiencing some foundation actual failure this time on the inside, and I'll show you why. The foundation failure is coming through the slab where we have the poor drainage. You have a large crack coming at an angle right here, and the crack is out of levels. And it's not just from your normal drying and cracking, because all concrete dries, shrinks, and cracks. So right here we have that poor drainage that's been happening for a long period of time, water settling in this location, and we had the slab crack. So this might actually need some foundation repair. We'll recommend for a structural engineer to further evaluate this.
One thing we noticed on the front of the house is they have newer windows. They've been freshly caulked, but already we have some separation between the window caulking and the brick. So that's one thing. Our client has already requested us to do a zip level survey of the foundation. So we're definitely going to check around this area to see with the levelness of it. The other thing we noticed is we have some termite drill holes. These look just first glance to be really old. Generally this termite treatment lasts between 7 and 8 years depending on the weather and rain events. So it's one thing that after a certain amount of time it may be a good idea to do a new preventative treatment.
Okay, whenever we're doing our far pass on the exterior, we notice that we have some damaged shingles right here in the corner. And coming down, we noticed that it was from an old crepe myrtle that they've cut down all the way to the base. The actual root base doesn't look like it's dead, so there's a very good chance that it could come back, but if it does die, you got to think about that giant root ball being in that location, and all of that dead and decomposing ground can cause a void in the foundation location, and that can cause your house to settle a little bit more in these locations. So it's something that we'll bring up to a client, just educate them a little bit more. We're not arborists, I don't study trees or anything. I'm just going off an experience of what I've seen happen. Whenever you have dead trees and locations next to the foundation, your house definitely will settle more than normal. Another find we have out here, small find, but we noticed that they installed new windows all around the property and they didn't seal a lot of them. So we have some gaps. All right, let's see what Josh catches with this panel box over here.
All the things. Aluminum, double wire breakers with aluminum and copper.
You have mixed together?
Yeah, right here. Aluminum and copper. Double wire breakers here. It's probably while the oven's not working. It's like they rewired half of the house. You got half copper, half aluminum.
Another thing I noticed, you're gonna get this a lot in these older 70s properties, but it is actually really important that this is taken care of or it's not put in place. People like these like raised garden beds across the foundation structure. One, it's a perfect environment for termites. Termites can be in here, nobody can find them, your inspectors can't find them, and it's going to cause termites to live in this. We live in Houston. They love humid environments. They love wood. They love moisture, and this harbors all of it. Shade. So they'll live here for years and you not know and be eating up your brand new kitchen. Another thing too, it allows a constant source of moisture to be sitting against your foundation wall, and that water will wick into your property and it can cause rot, mildew, mold to enter the property, and it can cause some health defects to your house and you as well whenever you have poor drainage around your structure. Okay, it gets a little tight over here, so it's a little bit harder to record. But one of the things that we notice is we have some older pool equipment, and it's not sitting on a base at all. You need a 3-inch base to keep the pool equipment off the ground and level. You can see the furnaces here canted. Another thing is that we have a pool filter in place and the gauge is broken, but it's sitting there fluctuating between like 35 and 40 PSI, and your pool filter should only be sitting around 20, 15 maybe. So we know that the pool equipment is dirty and it's not functioning very well. We noticed there wasn't a lot of water movement across the pool, so if that's happening, the pool's not gonna get cleaned properly and you can cause it to fog up. Another thing that we call out a lot in the Houston, Texas area is that the pool equipment, the piping is required to be painted. It's almost never painted. It's a really good idea to do this because the UV rays like to break down the PVC piping on these, and it can cause your piping to become brittle and lose its durability over time. Another thing that we noticed on the inside is that in the laundry room there is no dryer exhaust, and we think they sheetrocked over it because Josh noticed that the dryer exhaust is on the exterior over here, but it's like pulled out and loose, so it's definitely been popped out inside and covered up.
But the drainage right here, it's going towards the house, so that's a probably contributing factor of some unlevelness on the inside. One of the first things that we see on the pool as we're walking up is we get some air bubbles coming out of the jets. That could be one of two things. It could mean that the water level is too low for the system, which it's not today. It looks like it's at a good level, so our next indicator is that there could be a leak in the plumbing system. The next thing is we are looking at this pool structure. We notice the air bubbles here, and then on the deck we got some cracking and some unlevelness, so this could be an area where the plumbing leak could be.
I brought this up before, but you always want to, whenever you're buying a flip home, is you always want to open up these air registers. These air registers are going to be one of the last places that they renovate, even though they should do it whenever they have all the sheetrock down and whatnot. But in here, you can see that this air register is cooked. It's gone. It has, you can see it's fallen apart, it's degraded. We have an electrical wire that appears to be open through the system. And also you can see like kind of a mold-like substance growing in there.
We have some of our ducts have been replaced. These are a newer duct system, but then we have some ducts that are older. Looks like they're probably original to the house. And then on the supply, where the supply meets the furnace here, we have a couple of spots where it's just been torn up either by rodents or just poor construction, and I can feel air blowing out on both ends, so this isn't sealed up very well. So definitely something we're going to point out to our client for repair. Now we're starting to put together a picture. We have rodent feces on the attic. We have rodent feces on the roof covering. We have a rodent like urine smell in the attic, and then we have evidence that rodents have been chewing on the plenum. And so definitely going to recommend a pest control company come out and make sure that nothing is actively getting into the house.
Moving on into the interior of the structure, we already operated this. I can't do it again, unfortunately, because whenever we started operating the plumbing, it started leaking down into the first floor. So right here, you can see the whole fixture is loose at the wall, but it was actually leaking at the base over here, leaking at the base of the water fixture over here. And then in the shower, we had water leaking at the base of the shower fixture here and here. So the water's just leaking in all the plumbing in the bathroom. Okay, wrapping up this home. A lot of buyers always like to ask their home inspectors, would you buy this or not? And that is not something a home inspector should answer, or I will ever really answer for a client. I always like to present the facts, and every client is different, and it's up to the client to determine if they want to purchase this home. You know, sometimes leaky plumbing and some mold and some HVAC returns and a cracked foundation on the garage could be nothing to some people. These videos are mainly just to educate home buyers or inspectors what to look for on a property, and today this is what we found. So do I like to grade them? No, all homes are different, and we're just going to find stuff as home inspectors. So I hope this helps anybody watching these videos. If you like this content, please hit that like and subscribe button, and check us out on the next one.